overweight Negroes throw a temper tantrum in the lunchroom today, right? In St. Vincent's, does that maybe remind you? Maybe some people, like maybe Ellery, one of the Ellerys, throwing a temper tantrum, flanging around, so maybe that's where the spoiled attitude comes from. How about you, or Joe, or Harry? Did you throw a temper tantrum? See where they're learning this stuff from? Maybe you, GPS Robo Man, get upset, right? Then we have the bald Negro trying to pretend that he's all civil, right? But he's really not. He's kind of in the wrong place. How about you, Elton, Don? This is your family. This is what you guys wanted to supposedly. Hey, man, huh, so you think you are God, huh? Huh, Elton? Did you throw a temper tantrum at the sun? Maybe with some other people's stuff, and you ended up in the wrong place. Did you guys steal something you didn't know how to use, and then you get upset, and that's why everything's falling apart? Hey. See why I wanted you guys to stay in your areas. Don't come chasing and follow me down, because you guys might have been tricked. But that spoiled attitude's making its way down, and you guys all act like, huh, it was all their fault. But it's really been you kind of always, Negroes. They've been in people's way because you don't understand something. Maybe stuff was built on a premise of certain people getting along, and then you guys moved in and screwed it up with your leader being Little Small Fried Joe or whatever. And that's why things don't work. You can't. You all of a sudden, you guys want to be civil and religious, but you don't make sense. Like it was saying, that African American preaching Christianity, but you're African American, so you're not really Christian, so it doesn't make sense. So maybe that's why you guys are upset. Stop preaching that stuff. Because it's not, like the minister said, it's not for you. But he didn't know who I was, right? He kind of probably already did. See how I can say, I set up terrorist attack from Colorado as I move through, right? So he can have something to blame as I come one way, and then he sets it up for another way from San Diego. So he's just, oh, look, we were always the victims, all right? Oh. But it's bullshit, because you guys got to run around and have all the fun and screw up other people's shit. And then all of a sudden, sympathy. And then you blame Brian and then our friends. And where did the link, man? I think a lot of it's made up, and you guys just lifted kids off the street. Or there was an argument between Elton and you guys, and then you guys just dragged me into it and then run away. The runaways. When Joe and some of them already knew that I didn't want anything to do with it, I was on my own thing with the girls or whatnot. So I'm going to let these people move through, because they're not as stupid as you guys think. And you guys can watch and spy, Perlita, but ultimately, your temper tantrum, Perlita, has gone everywhere with Dave. That's why when you resemble that kind of behavior, it kind of points to you, Dave, in your spoiled attitude and how you were set up, that you probably killed both Kimmy and Bailey, right? So you guys can act it out and all that, but guess what? Somebody set you all in a nightmare. So in order to come out of that nightmare, you got to walk out of that. Sexual assault and all that stuff you guys try to cover for other guys because they seem to think they can do whatever they want, becomes a problem. It's because you guys made up a story so you could be successful, and a lot of you didn't care who it was going to hurt. So now we got to do it my dad's way, because it used to work, right? And some of these other guys' way, it used to work. Don't set up a prison if you guys don't want to live in one, because it's not glamorous, it's not glorious. Stop spray painting shit. Stop making the military's life harder, the police lives harder, the doctors, and maybe you guys listen to them and life gets better.